What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Baseballology, and for today's episode, I am going to be talking about the American League East and what I project all of their records at. To start it off today, I'm going to be talking about the number 5 team in the AL East in my projections, the Baltimore Orioles, who I think are going 72 and 90. 72 and 90 seems like okay. They had a really bad season last year. So why how can they win 72 games? That might be a question that you're asking. How do they win 72 games? Here's how. They have a bunch of teams that they face that kind of just suck and are total butt. Um, they face Seattle, Texas, the LA Angels, who maybe are not total but they're like medium. They're like medium sized butt. They face Kansas City. They face Detroit. They face one more. I know one more team on here. I thought of Cleveland. They face Cleveland too. So with all those teams, they face them like 8 games or so, 6 to 8 games each. Basically, what I'm saying is I think most of their games are going to be won off of like their non-divisional games. Because when you have Baltimore going up against the Yankees and the Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays, they're not gonna be. It's not even gonna be close. The Rays, the Blue Jays, and the Yankees should easily smack both the Orioles and the Red Sox. Right? Well, what we have here, I'm not gonna go into a full depth, but like this is my schedule that I put, or the Orioles schedule, and basically I went game by game looking at, okay, so what do I think is gonna happen? They're on the road this game. They're at home on this game. So what do I think is going to happen? Like, for example, the first series, like the opening series in the MLB for the Orioles, I said they go 2-1 against Boston. You know, just an example. But yeah, like I said, 72 and 90. I think the Baltimore Orioles are just gonna win enough games to keep them kind of relevant, but not really relevant, if that makes sense. Like they're not going to be a good team. They're not going to be a great team, but they're not going to be the worst team either. So I think I'm putting them at number 5 in the AL East at 72 and 90. Number 4, I have the Boston Red Sox, who I put at 76 and 86. So again, like I said, with the Baltimore schedule, the Red Sox get to face like a bunch of schmuck teams. One of those teams actually, if you add on, it's Baltimore. So like the Red Sox get to face Baltimore. So those are more wins for Boston there. You do have a couple tough games. You do have a couple tough games, like with Boston and the AL East schedule, right? You have Minnesota, you have Chicago White Sox, you have the New York Mets. The Phillies, I feel like, are going to cause slight trouble, even though they're not the best team in the league. They're going to be like a middle of the pack team, so they're going to cause some trouble. Maybe cause you to like split the series with them, right? You also face Oakland, Houston, and Miami. Maybe I'm not sold on Miami, but we'll see. Atlanta's a really good team, and Washington is another that could be like kind of upset, like put a couple splits in there to they're gonna be a middle of the pack team because that's pretty much what they are like every year except for I think last year. So what I have is total the Red Sox go in at number 4, 76 and 86. The Toronto Blue Jays, who I have here, I actually had to write it on the back because if you can tell, there's not really a good spot to write it. So I wrote my record here for them, a pretty bold pick. Actually, my next 3 picks here in the AL East are pretty bold. I put the Blue Jays at 95 and 67. And actually, they're still the number 3 team in the AL East. I think the AL East is going to basically dominate all of the other divisions. So they get to face the AL West. They get to face the AL Central. That's a given, right? But then they get to face, like, the NL East, right? They get to face, like, teams like Miami and I don't know. So basically, my reasoning behind this is mostly the AL West. The AL West is atrocious, besides for, like, 2 teams who are, like, I think, barely above average. And the Houston Astros last year, a below average team, only made the playoffs because of the extended 16 team playoff. The Oakland Athletics were like were an above average team. They lost a bunch of guys. It's going to be tough on them. So I think that's going to be a little bit tough. You know, especially when they have to play teams like Toronto and New York Yankees and Tampa Bay, who I think for the most part they just keep adding guys onto their team. They keep adding great guys to their team and just building and fighting for a great chance in the playoffs. So I have I have Toronto at 95 and 67. I think it's a really bold pick, but I think they're a really good team, and I think they're gonna make a pretty big splash this year. At number 2, I have the Tampa Bay Rays right here, at 98 and 64. Again, like I said, bold pick, but I think just having the AL West in their schedule, like having such a huge part of your schedule being the American League West, it's gonna be almost cake to just walk through those teams, because like I said, Houston is a below average team, Oakland is a slightly above average team, and it's just the Rays, the Blue Jays, and the Yankees are all really good teams, and they are going to fight for a really good playoff spot. So 98 and 64 is what I have for the Rays. The last one, at number 1, I have winning the division, the New York Yankees. I have them going 99 and 63. So I think this is going to be a really close division. Plain and simple. Besides the Red Sox and the Orioles, I think this is going to be a really, really close division. I think the Yankees are going to dominate Baltimore. They're going to dominate Boston. They're going to get good splits with, like, Toronto and Tampa Bay. But most of all, they're going to dominate all the other teams, like Detroit, like Cleveland, Houston, Washington. All of those teams, I really think are just not going to have even a prayer against New York. I think the Yankees are just going to go in and kind of control that division, but still holding like a 1-game advantage over Tampa Bay. So I think Tampa Bay is going to be really close at the very end. But I think the Yankees are going to end up with the number 1 spot in the AL East. So with that, I plan to do more videos. Obviously, I just did the AL East. I'm not gonna stop there. I'm working right now on the AL West. Working more in like all the other divisions. It'll probably take me about 1 or 2 days to finish them all. I'll put videos up on every division as I get done with them, pretty much. So, thank you for tuning in to Baseballology. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Like this video. Put a comment down if you like disagree with me. If you agree with me, I don't care. Like, just put a comment down. Comments are awesome. Tell me what I can do better with this channel. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and just stay aware of more content coming out pretty soon. So with that, I'm just gonna sign off. So